Hello, welcome to another Nickjitsu video. Today we're going to be looking at this guitar again, the Electric Banana. Look at my bridge. Can you see the angle of my whammy? The bridge is at such an angle it's pushing the strings up. Either that or it's pushing the neck away from the strings. I haven't quite worked out which yet. And I mean, the action on this is so high at the minute, it's sending back its own meteorological reports. So we've got to do something about it. And the culprit is the springs in the back. You can see them stretched out like a cat in the noonday sun. So we're going to replace the springs, and hopefully, using the right of springs, we can get this back to some kind of noodly playability. So this is my trusty old Electric Banana Ibanez. I've already done a video on the magic arm, which is a fantastic tremolo idea. I've been using it for quite a while and it's been brilliant. But of course, the springs, with the amount of use, have just stretched and stretched and stretched to the point where the bridge is just like that the whole time. The way that a floating trem works is that you need equal balance between the strings one way and the springs the other. And it should be measured in newtons, but I'm reliably informed by a man with a beard in a pub that the force on the top that the strings pull is measured in halens, and the springs, their force is measured in satrianis. Now, you want to make sure that all your Holdsworths go for the full beck, and if that doesn't happen, then the Latin term for that is called unvie, and that's what I've got at the moment, where my bridge is too far that way. And what I need to do is get the claw and the spring sorted so that it can become viable, which is the other Latin word that we use for a tremolo that's just bang on but floats. So the springs we're going to be using in the back of the guitar, we're going to use Ibanez ESPR2003s. These are Teflon coated, which are anti-corrosion. Also, there's less string noise, and also I think eggs don't stick to them. So you do get ESPR 1003s, which are apparently a little bit longer. What are they, 52 millimeters? These are 47, I think. So that there's less of a pull. Now, from what research I could gather, if you're using 9s or 8s, then use the 1003s. If you're using 10s and above, any heavier gauge strings, you need something that's going to pull the claw quite hard to give you enough satrianis to kind of balance the halens from the strings. I can't think of what strings company I'll use to put new strings on here. I'm sure it will come to me in a t-shirt. But today's beer, I was looking around for some strings and found this wonderful beer, Juchers, Caledonian, very, very good. And drink responsibly, with a responsible adult, not a drummer. There we go, we've put some new strings on, and I don't know if you can see the angle of the bridge there, but it should be flat. Now, I'm not sure how much the camera's going to pick up, but it should be sitting around there, and it's sitting right about there. So there's a few millimeters of a change there. So the other problem that keeps occurring with this guitar is that my pickup selection is different on this guitar. When I'm playing kind of jazzier stuff, or I've got my front pickup on, the selector's in the middle, and watch what happens. I'm not pressing down, but you hear that? It's actually bashing off the pickup selector, and it moves it every time you move the whammy bar. So something needs to be done here. Now, if we turn this over, you see the springs right here, and you see the claw is right up against the wood now. So we're going to replace these springs. We're going to take them all out, adjust the claw, put the new springs in, and let's see how we get on. So I'm going to take one of these, which is the thing that you use to thingy the watts it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bung it in here. There we go, that'll do, that'll kind of keep that in the right place. Take this wee thing off. Other screw is long gone, probably in a venue in Chicago, I think that happened. And then let's release the claw. Nothing scientific about this at all. There we go. Right, let's take these out. Go. New springs. These feel much tighter, much less wobbly. And look, can you see a difference between those two? See that? So that's the normal ones. These are the Teflon coated shorter ones. You've got two springs here. Got the new one and we've got the old one. Put the new one on, watch the earthing lead. Put this one, hook it along and then pull. Up. There we go. Easy, easy peasy, no bother. Look at that. That's so high. So I don't know if it was designed this way, but the little Allen key that you use to put the strings in and to put the locking nuts in, this little Allen key here, that fits perfectly down in the space in the cavity here, which is going to block the trem off from moving. So what I can do is I can actually just tune it by ear, and then what I'll do is I'll put it through the actual tuner. Oh, my ear's not too bad actually. So I've just had to do a few wee extra things here and there, like the truss rod and all that kind of thing. And look, I've got a tuner on my phone. Look at that. Can you see that? Perfectly in tune. Look at that. Excellent. It's a little poly tuner. Very cool, isn't it? So the way this works, I think, from what I can see on other videos, is that you tune the guitar. I still have little Allen wrench right in the back, right there. And what I'm going to do is take that out, and then we're going to tune the A string. So you can see my little poly tuner on there. There we go. So we should be in tune. Yeah, that string is in tune, the top E. What we're going to do is we're going to take out the Allen key out the back, like that. Everything is going to go horribly sharp. So if I use the A string, ooh, that's sharp. You see how sharp that is? That's gone up beyond A sharp. What we're going to do is we're going to do the claw thing. Going to put the doodah in the top claw, like this. Oops. And then loosen that until it goes back in tune again. Oh, it's going down in pitch, that's for sure. Nearly there. There we go. Now the bottom claw has been moved, so it's a bit slanty, if you can see that. Now, let's see. E string's almost in tune. B's almost in tune. So there you have it. I've replaced the springs in the back of the guitar, and you can see that the claw is actually slanted. Now, there's a guitarist called Carl Verheyen, who, if you don't know, stop what you're doing, go and check him out. He's one of the best guitar players out there, fantastic player. But he maintains that doing the angled claw thing actually works, and that aids his tuning, and he can get different up pulls. I think he gets a minor third on the G string, which is quite high for a Strat. So the angled claw idea, I think, is pretty cool. I've done it before on one of Rob Williams' guitars, but don't tell him. I had this fantastic Strat that I did a video for, and I angled the claw after watching the Carl Verheyen video. But I didn't do it the same way that I did here. I didn't do it to pitch. I just did it because it looked nice. Whoa, how'd your wee stew? I'm a couple of days older, and I thought I'd give it a couple of days before I did the last part of my video to let the guitar settle in, let the strings settle in. You know how these things are. And I've been experimenting, but I've also been doing more research about the angled claw idea. And it turns out a lot of people get very, very upset when you start talking about angling your claw. Now, I don't give a flip about these people, but I do care about you, dear viewer. So in the interest of science-jitsu, whatever that is, I've done a few experiments. And what I've done is I've angled the claw towards the bottom strings, I've angled it towards the top strings, and I've angled it straight, just to see what the differences are. And what do you think the differences actually are? In a word, not very much. When you angle the claw, the tuning stability kind of stays the same. What does make a huge difference, and as far as I know, nobody's ever mentioned this before, or it's a video that I've missed, or it's not been mentioned in what they called forums or anything like that, is that the tension on the strings does change. Now, if you think about it, your spring, if I angle the claw that way, the spring is going to be shorter for the top strings, therefore there's going to be less tension on them, so they're going to be easier to bend. And that was the case. It was much easier to bend the ones on the upper strings as opposed to the lower strings, and then when you angle the claw the other way, the lower strings become all flubby and wobbly, and then if you angle it straight, it's kind of everything's nice and stable right across the board. It is really subtle, and I don't know if it's psychosomatic, but I tend not to suffer from things that I can't spell. So why did I angle the trem? Because I'm an idiot. It was a complete accident. I only watched one video, and the guy on the video only does the twisty-turny thing. What are these things called? Screws. He only turns the screws on one bit of the claw. So I thought that's what you did. And it ended up angled, and I thought that sounds cool. So normally people do it on strats, I hear you cry. So how was I meant to know that my 1988 Ibanez RG550 Electric Banana wasn't a Strat? It says Ibanez up there, but it doesn't say not a Strat. As a bonus, this isn't whacking off the pickup selector anymore, which will make a huge difference. There's nothing like playing jazz and then using your whammy bar and it flicks you onto the back pickup, so you sound more like a country player. That seems to work. The guitar feels absolutely perfect to play now, and I think it's the best it's ever been. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how easy it was actually pretty easy. I'd say it's about like an 8 for easiness. DIY is not something I'm very good at. I don't like any 3-letter acronym. I don't think they're good for you. So, you know, DIY, STD, KIA, just not good. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you managed to get something out of that. Keep the questions coming, keep the requests coming, all that kind of thing. Don't forget to do the thing with the doodah and the subscribe and the bell and all that kind of stuff. Don't forget the album Hyperreal is out. Woohoo, plug, plug, plug. And if you get a chance, grab yourself a wee bottle of Jukers. Very, very good beer. Thank you very much. See you on the next one. Bye bye. I bet you thought I'd forgotten, didn't you? So what do you think I went for? Angled for the ease of bending, angled for the wibbly wobbly bottom end, or angled stability across all regions? What do you think? Yep, you're right. I treated it like world peace. Stability across all regions. For me, that's the best one. That's it. That's all I've got to say about that. Right, still games on the telly.